The primary reason we want to talk to them is to find out when UCLA and Brentwood School are leaving, how quickly and if we can help get them out, number one. Number two, what is the position of this administration on the
Executive order.
on the executive order that was sent? And we need to be in on that planning as well. Then if we has time for us, we can address the events that we are planning for using this land, which is for us.
Yeah, the next shot, I think it should be mentioned that Vincent Haley is, we want him to acknowledge everything that's going on here, and I hope that Merchant has told him of all the incidents that's going on here that hasn't been covered in the executive order.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to ask to use the baseball field once UCLA is gone. There's no one to ask
sure.
because it's for the veterans.
We
Veterans
don't
are,
need to ask to
Right.
use it right now.
Just take it.
There you go.
We're telling them we're going to use it. That's already been identified as illegal and wrongdoing.
You know, I put in a text yesterday about 5 VA police cars being up on the north side and an ambulance going there. Well, when the 2 policemen were here, I asked one of them what went down over there yesterday, and he told me that a veteran and an employee got into a fight. So that's all I know now.
Can you write Merchant?
Robert Merchant just answered me.
What did he say?
You're welcome to come now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
He
All right.
can feel the heat. Okay, all right.
Anytime.
Hi.
You
Good
must
to see you,
have
Mr.
received
Sons.
my FedEx.
I did. Yes, I did.
Thank
I
you
did.
so much.
And we met
Thank you for-
several years ago. Hey, so-
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good.
Director, thank you for seeing us. We're-
Robert, do you want to come to the table, please? Sure. And I'm happy to sit and talk, and I'm glad that you all are here. And
Salvatore.
there we go.
We met.
Yes,
How
of
you
course.
doing?
Good to see you again.
It's kind for you, it's kind that you're sharing your time with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for that. It's, I don't view it as an act of kindness. It's, our obligation to keep dialogue with veterans open. And I respect everyone's service here as a veteran, as a fellow veteran. I respect that. And let me just say a couple of things, and then what I really want to do is listen. And really, that's what I'm going to be able to do today. Since you're here, I'm just going to go, assuming that you're recording the conversation.
Yeah, if that's okay.
I would prefer not, but I will just go with that.
Thank you.
We have been challenging the master plans that have been taking place for years. Even before they started the VCOEB meetings, we were challenging. And not a lot has been listened to or taken seriously. We haven't been heard or understood, and it's not us that want anything out of it. We want simply for the law, real estate laws and the rule of law to be enforced, and this home to be operated under a stewardship, not a management, but a stewardship that that upholds and preserves the terms, conditions, spirit, and intent of the deeds that are still the deeds of record here for this entire footprint. Now, we have advocated, as I said, and we have grown in our advocacy. We have folks here who belong to veteran service organizations. We have folks from across the country who have veteran service organizations. We have family members. We have people that drove from San Jose, California. We are serious about what we want. Now, fast forward to today, we know that there has already been recognition in the courts of wrongdoing that's been taking place here, and we want that wrongdoing to be clarified. We have evidence, factual evidence, that we can provide, but we're not, again, we're not being heard by your administration. The other thing about your administration is that your administration is for a medical center that should be part of the home, not the other way around. Your medical center is encroaching upon the terms, conditions, spirit, and intent of the intended land use here that is on record a matter, it was established in perpetuity. And we don't know what part of permanent the administration doesn't understand, because we are time and again witnessing abuse that either winds up in suicide or loss of sanity. There's some terrible things that are taking place, it seems, all the time. So what we would like to do, as I said, fast forwarding to today, understanding that wrongdoing has already been pointed out by the President of the United States and the courts, we want to know how soon UCLA and Brentwood School are going to be out. Now, you said you can't comment today, but we would appreciate it if you would answer those first when you get around to doing that, number one. Number two, we want to know how the GLAHS is preparing for the implementation of the President's executive order signed on May the 9th that cites the wrongdoing and focuses on this land only. It mentions 388 acres, but we know that the footprint is larger than that. We want to know who in the federal government is talking to you right now, to you and your administration, so that we can be in on that and provide information that we have. Objectively, we want to present these facts, and we want to know what's going to be done about these facts. Then we also want to know what can be done to stop the bleeding that's taking place. We've sent you a video of an individual carrying a weapon in a hallway. We've sent you some information about third-party contractor, Step Up on Second, or some other organization that runs a building,
John Stewart,
popping a resident in the nose and drawing blood. Those are just two recent examples, one yesterday and one last week. But even before that, Director, there has been death, there has been overdose, there has been prostitution. All of these things have come to a land, a home that didn't have that before. I won't say it didn't have it, but I'm going to say it wasn't nearly as bad as it is today. And we feel that that is because the state of California, the county of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, and on the beachfront property, which is totally not spoken of in the stewardship of the land, the city of Santa Monica. These entities and developers are really running amok, and it reflects bad on the administration that's supposed to be caring for this footprint. Now, I saw coming in, the wire frames are being put up, the wire pillars are being put up for a parking structure, I believe, over here, that we have knowledge of, that if you want to ask questions about it, you don't call you or your office, you have to call Metro, because it's a Metro building. There's nothing Metro here. This is a veteran home that I explained, and the veteran home was built upon the premise of getting service-connected veterans through here, nurture their mind, their body, and their soul, and help them get back on their feet and then return them to society. And this is the kind of home environment that once existed here, that has been going through upheaval and tread upon, and we really want to know, how do we stop this? Now, we have your attention right now for the next couple of minutes, but we just don't want this. We want to come back and get into some exchange, where you can talk, where you can make a decision. And the directors of past used to have all the power and decide here. And if you have a heart in you, that would come through also. But it doesn't seem that that's happening anymore. And we have come to the point where we have had to notify you by text and email with no response up until a moment ago when you said, come up now. That's appreciated. We did have a feeling you were listening, but why does it have to be that way as well? So there you have the priorities is when is UCLA and Brentwood School leaving? And any other land grabber that's here. Number one, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we address these incidents that are happening to individuals? And how can we work together on the planning here of the implementation of the executive order?
Mr. Sines?
No response?
Could I say something?
Yes.
Okay. You said that you can't comment at this time. And you've been listening pretty closely to what Francisco Juarez has been saying. I'm from New York, okay? And I'm not here to step on a pedestal or whatever, but I'm here to say I've seen this before. When you said you can't comment, you did a paper trail for me. You did a paper trail for everybody here. You did comment when you say you wasn't gonna comment or say anything. I always find that as a paper trail to whoever I'm gonna discuss this with in a meeting, present it to another VA employee, or the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, or Vince Haley, or President Trump. That's a paper trail. So you know very well what's going on, and again, too, I'm not gonna be disrespectful, because there's no reason for me to do that. I'm here in a goodwill, and a goodwill is what we want out of you. These questions that Francisco has said and asked about, I've already checked into that myself, especially the person with the rifle. I made my call to the police. I made a call to the FBI. There's got to be something done, because you have more than one rifle in there. You have one more person that can punch somebody else that's in your staff. This is a paper trail. I'm glad you're listening. And I hope that you can understand Veterans Day is coming up November 10th or 11th. It's 105 years old. That's everything that everybody has done is recorded in that time frame. 105 years. We want to celebrate that. We want to celebrate it so the state of California, the VA can understand that there's a reason for this. We've got the property. We are going to use it. I suspect that there's not going to be any challenges behind that. But you're just listening, but you're listening as acknowledgement. And thank you for the paper trail and allowing me to speak.
Rob?
Sir, I'm a relatively new member of the El Camino Real Forum. A couple of years ago, I first learned about, first of all, the treatment that some veterans are experiencing right now. Living in these little, I call it dog kennels, the little plastic sheds. And yet, you have many buildings that are being modified, and they look good. I mean, they're being reconstructed, and I'm just curious, why do we have veterans living in these little sheds and sometimes out living in the street, and how come they're not being housed in these buildings, in these structures? That's the one question I really would like to know. Okay.
Is that a paper trail?
Rosie?
Yes.
I'm Rosie Mendoza from the same chapter at El Camino Real Forum. And I'm here today because we discussed at our meeting the executive order from the president. And there's itemized issues in there that are real, and I'm really surprised they got that high. I mean, he's the president of the United States, and he knows that UCLA, Brentwood, are using buildings that don't belong to them. I would like to know more about that. That's my curiosity, is how does the President of the United States know that the veterans here are not being treated well?
Paper trail.
Don?
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Director, for having us. I don't have a lot to say, except we have an ad that's going out nationwide, is addressing the president. It's going to be on a major network, and I understand as the director here, you're in difficult positions. You've got arrows coming at you from all sides, so I understand your position, but I do appreciate you taking the time to listen to us and address these issues. Thank you.
Salvatore.
So grammatical, we met in the past. I had submitted to staff, can I write the old bylaws? And I'm going to have some additional writers to it. And hopefully we can have a meeting thereafter so that we could get the Veterans Community Council active again. So that we can have some oversight over all of the activities that are going on, including the services to the veterans, which is mainly our goals and objectives to that, to make sure that the services are properly delivered. And among part of its task is to make sure that the land that is the soldier's home in Sawtell is properly utilized for all of the veterans of the United States, not just LA County or California. Because when it was dedicated and given as a gift, it belongs to all of the veterans of the United States, not just California. Right. And that needs to be clarified to anybody who thinks that they had their foot all year and thinks that this is their goodie bag. It's not. It belongs to all veterans of the United States. And that's all I gotta say, and I look forward to working with you and also with Kevin Wright, goal and objectives of the need of the veterans.
Robert Canas? Robert, hold on a second. I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm his public affairs officer.
Oh, okay, well.
Daryl.
Well, we called Robert to the table. Can we call him to the table, please?
Sure.
So he's.
Oh, I get to come to the table?
Yeah, sure, join us over there. I didn't get your first name.
Daryl.
Huh?
Daryl.
Daryl.
Yeah.
Francisco and the group. Robert Canas.
Yeah, I've been a veteran seeking treatment here for 4 years, Robert. I think you know that. 4 years I haven't been able to get a rating from the VA. I have an honorable discharge combat veteran. No rating. Every time I inquire to what's happening with my rating, they tell me that you're looking into it and it gets denied. I came here with nothing, homeless, with a truck and an RV, and the VA police department towed it and took everything from me. I don't have anything as a result of that. And they tell me that you're going to make sure that that gets taken care of. However, it's been almost 2 or 3 years since that's happened, and I have no resolution to anything. I recently got kicked out of treatment at the Dom because of the Brentwood School was serving sandwiches to Dom employees that weren't veterans, and I asked Jennifer to reduce that from the $1 million in in-kind services, and they immediately told me I had to leave the Dom after I made that comment about the employees shouldn't be eating food. That is a part of our contributions. So I can't even get treatment, Mr. Merchant, since I've been here. The week I got kicked out of the Dom, my psychologist told me I needed at least 6 more months of therapy for my PTSD. And as soon as I told Jennifer at the Brentwood School that they shouldn't be feeding the employees those sandwiches and count that towards $1 million in in-kind services, I no longer needed treatment. And they cut me off from receiving my rating. And so yeah, I'm just living in destitute at the moment right now because of that. So I was just wondering, is there any way I can find out what happened to my truck and my RV? The police won't let me file a police report. Patient Advocacy won't help me with it.
I'll find out what happened, Robert.
Were they taken from the VA property?
So it got towed from the VA property while I was in treatment at CTRS, and Village for Vets paid $10,000 to take it out of tow. And as soon as they got it out of tow, I parked it at my apartment with permission from Robert Merchant, and then the police came and towed it again.
Well, I just heard him say he's gonna look into it.
Yeah, yes, okay, absolutely, yeah.
All right, Greg Nichols?
Thank you for meeting with us, Director. Amongst all the other statements that were made, I would like to see the VA contest our beachfront property from the city of Santa Monica. They turned that into a parking lot, but that was part of the original deed, and the VA should be fighting for that. I know that it was mentioned the incompetence of the VA police. We believe that they're allowing drug activities to go on the property, and that's not good. That's not right. I'm sure that you've already had a chance to study the executive order. Amongst the statements that the president made regarding the UCLA illegally occupying the land and Brentwood School illegally occupying the land, I'm shocked that no mention was made of the C&H tract. And since the president is inviting 3,000 more homeless veterans to come to this area, I believe that 3,000 units of student housing would be perfect. They're already built, and I believe that there is the solution for the homeless veteran problem in this area is kick UCLA off the student housing and convert those buildings, which are on the VA footprint, convert them into homeless housing. Thank you, sir.
How are we doing in time?
You're fine.
Gene Sines.
Yes, this is for your public affairs officer. I know how it works, okay? Your public affairs usually finds out what's going on, and if it feels that it warrants to speak to the director or whoever is in charge, they do it. Daryl, have you ever got a call from any of our veterans saying that they like to speak to the
I'm not here to answer any
director?
questions.
Pardon me?
I'm not here to answer any questions. I'm just here to hear.
Oh, okay, so that to me is a paper trail.
I actually have a question. So I was having a discussion with a PR person, I think her name was Cara. The next thing I know, I had the VAPD trying to kick in my door to take me away on a 5150 hold. I had to call Mr. Checkpoint actually to call the police department, have me back away from my apartment.
Robert.
My question is, why is PR department getting involved in my care here at the VA? Or,
Robert, he's not gonna answer your question,
Right.
so let's
We
keep it moving.
leave it at that. The question, you already answered what I wanted to know, because it's important that the communication that goes between the public affairs officer goes to the director, and if the director's not getting it, then we're gonna be bent out of shape with you, and you know that happens. So, in questioning is that you have never gotten a call from any of us to talk to the director?
Not here for it.
You're not gonna answer? Okay, thank you so much.
Larry Laughlin.
Director, we last met in November, and I told you face to face about the Santa Monica property, and I asked you to help the veterans regain that property that was deeded to us. It was deeded to us just like the property we're on right now was deeded to us. And another thing, I asked you to something very simple that I think is very easy to do, and that is to have the contractors put up a sign at each and every one of these many construction sites indicating what the heck they're building. And I don't see that happening either. As far as I know, you've never helped us in any way regain the property that was deeded to us. I remember something you wrote, and you mentioned stakeholders. You mentioned employees of the VA. You mentioned other entities. You never mentioned veterans. And we are the main stakeholders. And our purpose here today, right now, is to show you that we want to cooperate with the administration and help the administration build this hospital in this home for what it should be, without rents being charged to the residents. This home should be rent-free for veterans. They've already paid their dues. And we want, and I think it is, but we want it to continue to be a first-class hospital in any way we can help in that regard. So we're here just to cooperate with you, and we want to be part of the planning. And along those lines would be what Salvatore Grammaticum has mentioned in letting us have a meeting when it's time to make some decision. We want to help in the decision making. Thank you for being here and listening to us.
Thank you.
I'll sum it up by telling you that last 4 years ago, I wrote with the idea of establishing an office for our advocacy here and naming it the Office of the Sacred Trust, where we would archive all the facts that we have about the land and how it's deeded, and even archive the manipulation the facts of manipulating things that are going on. That never happened. It was never acknowledged, the idea. But yet today you have a peer advocacy group established by the land grabbers. They give out pizza on Fridays or Sundays, Mondays. And they're just trying to win over the people that are hungry, basically, and tell them that everything is hunky-dory. Things are not hunky-dory. People are dying every day from homelessness, and veterans are among that count when they have a home right here. It's just the keys have been taken from them. So we need to address that immediately. People are losing their sanity. So I would hope that you've heard enough today, and enough of it has been recorded, so that you can review what's been said here, and we can have another one of these face to face. It's really appreciated. This, you know, and for Gene, we would bring him in on a Zoom call because he has to go back to New York. But he's spreading the word over there with us in DC and keeping everybody up to date there. He's the one that sent a package to Vincent Haley. Have you met that gentleman yet?
I have not.
Have you heard of that gentleman?
No, I haven't.
Okay, he is a person, according to what's online, that is in charge of implementing or developing the plan for the executive order here. So I hope that you've heard enough to think about what should be done here, what's the right thing to do here. If we felt that the right thing was being done here, you wouldn't see all these walks of life here. And we hope that you will schedule another meeting with us. Thank you.
We know that the VA does good stuff. I know it. You know, I'm 80 years old. I've been in Vietnam 3 times. I've spent my time. We really need your help to perform your job, to give us what we're asking, because this is my home too. I can be in New York. This is my home. And I do hope that if I was sarcastic to you, sir, I want to apologize. But in other words, if I wasn't sarcastic enough to get the message out, I'm letting you know that too. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you all.
Thank you.
I want to say before we depart, I appreciate and value each of your individual statements and the feelings that you've shared. I really do. Mr. Juarez, I've shared that with you before many times over the years that we've known and worked on things together, and I do mean that. Let me just offer one thing. I don't know if it will be satisfactory to you or not. That's for you to decide. On August 19th, there will be a meeting of the Federal Advisory Committee, the VCOEB. And that is an opportunity to share your feelings directly with that body and as a means of communicating with the administration writ large.
The last time I was at that board meeting, I asked Mr. Eugene Skinner if any of our comments over the years, and every year that they've had it, have ever been entered into the Federal Register, and he told me no. Not one challenge point has ever been entered into the Federal Register. Why, what can we expect different at the next one?
I don't have a specific answer to that, Mr. Juarez, but that is an opportunity to make your voice heard, and that meeting will be on August 19th.
I can tell you what we can expect. I was with Robert Wilkie in the quarterly meetings in Washington, D.C. And I was there because there was some land over here that was being ready to be taken, and that was about 28 acres, unless they stopped it, but from what I understand, it wasn't. Secretary told me, he says, no, Gene, and you mind if I record this, Secretary? He says, no, Gene, no, we're not gonna let any more land be taken. And because we have a lot of lawyers. And I says, really? He says, okay, so you're telling me that no more land is gonna be taken from the property of the VA? Nope. So I attended the same quarterly meeting that you are talking about, because I've done it several times. I travel because I'm concerned about my property, that's this property. And when I heard that, hey, 28 acres of land was already sold, was already either sold or leased out. And this was the secretary telling me nothing like that's gonna happen. So, you know, I'm not saying that you're fibbing, lying, or anything like that. I don't wanna accuse you of that. But we've heard the story in our left ear and it went out the right ear at the same time. I could line 554 or 52 of the representatives and look in their left ear all the way through and see what they're telling me. And I do appreciate, really, you know, you can't ask for a better guy to say, you know, representatives like to hear from you, but you know what? They like to pin a medal on your chest and later on they forget you. It happens. So you could be trying your best to let us know that, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm trying my best to let you to understand it. This is not gonna happen unless you write your report and say, this is what's gotta be. Send it to the secretary, send it to the president, and send it to us. Because whatever they're gonna say in a quarterly meeting is not gonna be justifiable enough to satisfy the blood of a worm.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again.
I appreciate it. Look, do your best, but that's all we ask. Don't lie, that's okay? I appreciate it, thank you.
Shake his hand up. Give him a little shake.
Thank you so much. And thank you to Daryl. Daryl, I appreciate the way you went. You're covering for him, and that's fine.
Brave wearing that Giants jersey.
Well, I figured if I'm gonna piss people off, I'm gonna piss everybody off.
Close your eyes, it don't mean nothing. Yeah.
I better go check on my
Yeah, that's
dog.
what they say. Yeah, that it's too, but then why would you tell me that you're looking into it? It's been over a year now since I've been waiting. Over a year waiting for my benefits.